problem, it has to be from the grassroots up there, because the government is a reflection of the people. The current government reflects us as a people at the end of the day, because many of the people in government now, they were not there 20 years ago. Yeah, so the people that will be there 20 years from now are the same people you see on the streets who disobey traffic, who are not kind, who steal money, who bribe, and who do all sorts of things. So we are going to push a bill to the government. We should have a mental orientation center in the 6 geopolitical zones. The same way you have Women Empowerment Center in Abuja, you have some of, we need to have a mental orientation center. People need to be reorientated to salvage what is left. Personally, I believe that we may not be able to, to repair every broken adult, but we can catch them young. We can catch, we can start from people who are from age 6 and tell them about patriotism, citizenship, what it means to be an active citizens. It does something to their orientation as they grow up.
But then, because I asked this question because I want to know how far the impact of this mental reorientation goes. Because we also know that we have the issue of, let's take for instance, I'm going to focus on poverty. If I am poor and I've not eaten, there's nothing you will tell me. My brain is hungry. And if I have not eaten, no matter the effort you put into trying to restructure my mind, I don't think that's going to work. So you've been making mention of the fact that we need mental reorientation in Nigeria. But would that ever solve the problem? Because if we keep reorientating people mentally and they're not eating, after I don't go to school, I'm still like I was yesterday. You've wasted all your effort in trying to restructure my mind. So I think, yes, mental orientation is important, but then it's a long chain of issues before it even gets to mental orientation, because yes, poverty is one. And if let's say for instance, people making 1,000 naira out of 10,000 naira withdrawal charges, they need mental orientation, because they know that, oh, this you should do this because you're trying, aside the fact that you're doing your job, you are trying to get this new naira note into circulation. You don't necessarily have to make big out of it, because that's what they are aiming for. But then they need this money,
and it's part of the mental orientation. It is because it's a mental problem for you to want to take advantage of every situation.
But they need the money.
Yeah, but then you with or without this, you are still going to be able to sustain your business.
How do you know that? Because we can't take away poverty from the Nigeria issue.
Seizing every opportunity to rip people off, to extort money from people, is a mental problem. So it's a holistic thing. For instance, last week we did a community service. There is a young man. When you watch videos of saner climes and developed societies, I don't know what we learn from there. Like, you see how they pay attention to the little things. You see a girl who has Down syndrome. They bring her to a basketball game. This thing, it does a lot to the mental orientation of the younger generation. So this guy is always at Gadua Junction controlling traffic. I've seen him several times. People fight him. They insult him. He is helping you. He's not taking money from government, but you are insulting him because you're trying to disobey traffic, and he's insisting that you will not, because he's passionate about what he does. And when they to appreciate someone like that. So social welfare is part of the things that we do, but it begins with your mindset. As a man thinketh, they can feed you forever, but if your mindset is wrong, you will never be an active, responsible citizen.
All right, now I would like to combine two questions in one because we are fast running out of time. As someone who is into the real estate industry, something happened in Gwarinpa yesterday, and as at this material time, 2 lives has been lost, and 40 persons are still trapped. I'm talking about the building collapse in Gwarinpa yesterday's afternoon, and the Federal Housing Authority has blamed the developer for violating the building plan. You know, the Federal Housing Authority, they have been charged by the federal government to make sure that all buildings in Abuja are built according to the plan and with the right materials. But then, if the Federal Housing Authority has alleged now that the developer did not build according to plan, violated the plan, don't you think it's a failure on the part of the Federal Housing Authority in terms of failing to set up the necessary mechanisms to see that every building they are built to specifications. What do you think about this whole scenario? Because why I'm asking this is because there's been a rise in the trend of building collapse, and once if we do not arrest the situation, if we not arrest the situation in time, there will be loss of lives, properties, and it's not going to project Nigeria in good as a serious country in the international community. What's your take on this?
Goes back to Nigeria, great policies, ineffective non-functional systems and institutions. So now individuals think that they are more powerful than the whole system, because some kind of bribery would have taken